5 unpleasant things seniors do in old age that no one tells you about. Old age, a stage everyone will go through, but no one is truly prepared for. We often hear about wisdom, freedom, and the joys of entering our later years. But there's a truth that few people talk about. Old age also brings habits that can make life more difficult, distance us from loved ones, and even affect our physical and mental well-being. These habits don't appear overnight. They slowly creep into our lives, little by little, and before we realize it, they have shaped the way we live, how others perceive us, and most importantly, how we feel about ourselves. Society often romanticizes old age or avoids discussing its real challenges. But today, we will face it head-on. If you are in your later years or have loved ones entering this stage, this video is for you. Let's explore the common but rarely mentioned habits of old age. Things that can lead us into loneliness, impact our health, and lower our quality of life. But don't worry. The most important thing is that we can change. By the end of this video, you'll know how to avoid or overcome these challenges so that old age isn't just about passing time, but a period of joy, connection, and fulfillment. Let's get started. 1. Talking too much about the past. Old age brings back memories more vividly than ever. Stories from our youth, beautiful moments, and past achievements all appear as if they happened just yesterday. There's nothing wrong with that. But the problem begins when we repeat the same old stories too often, to the point where listeners start to feel disconnected or lose interest. Young people, our children, grandchildren, and friends don't share the same memories as we do. They didn't live in that era or experience what we went through. So when we keep telling the same stories over and over, they gradually lose patience. Conversations become one-sided, and instead of fostering connection, they create more distance. How to change? Try to balance your conversations. Instead of only talking about the past, show interest in others' present lives. Ask them about their work, dreams, and what they care about. When engaging in conversations, ask questions, listen attentively, and participate in their stories. If you truly want to share a memory, choose special moments and connect them with meaningful lessons or inspiring messages. This way, your memories won't just be old stories, but valuable gifts that others can learn from and appreciate. Remember, connection doesn't come from repeating the past, but from understanding, sharing, and respecting each other in every moment of the present. 2. Being rigid and resistant to change. Life is constantly changing, but as we grow older, we tend to cling to what feels familiar. Old habits, old perspectives, and old ways of doing things bring a sense of security. However, when we become too rigid and refuse to adapt to new things, we not only isolate ourselves but also create distance from the world around us. We often hear statements like, "Back in my day, we didn't need phones, and we still lived just fine. Young people do everything differently now. It's nothing like our time. Life was simpler before. Now everything is too complicated." These thoughts can make us feel out of place in today's world. We refuse to learn how to use a smartphone, hesitate to try new methods, and even reject societal changes simply because they are different from what we once knew. But the truth is, the world doesn't wait for anyone. It keeps moving forward, and if we don't adapt, we'll be left behind. How to change? Start with small steps. If you've never used a smartphone, ask your children or grandchildren to teach you the basics. If the younger generation's way of living seems too different, try to understand why they do things that way instead of immediately judging. Adapting doesn't mean abandoning old values. It simply means accepting that the world is always evolving, and we too can learn to keep up. Try something new every day, even if it's something small like using a new app, tasting an unfamiliar dish, or simply listening to a different perspective without dismissing it outright. By embracing change, we not only keep our minds sharp, but also maintain our connection with family, society, and the world around us. Most importantly, we prove that old age doesn't mean being outdated. It's a lifelong journey of learning and growth. 3. Complaining too much. Life isn't always easy, and as we age, there are plenty of things to complain about. Declining health, rising costs, children not visiting as often, or societal changes that feel unfamiliar. At first, complaining may just be a way to vent emotions, but when it becomes a habit, it can take over our conversations. The problem is, no one likes to hear negativity all the time. Whether it's children, friends, or neighbors, they may listen once or twice, but if conversations are always filled with complaints, they will eventually start avoiding us. Instead of finding empathy, we unintentionally push people away, leading to more loneliness. How to change? Try a different approach. Limit how often you complain. If something bothers you, share it once, then shift the conversation to something positive. Focus on the good. Each day, find at least one thing to be grateful for, no matter how small. A good meal, a call from a loved one, or simply a beautiful day. Change your perspective. Instead of seeing everything as getting worse, view changes as a natural part of life. For example, technology might seem complicated, but it also makes it easier to connect with family. Complaining too much doesn't just strain relationships, it also affects our own mood and well-being. Remember, your attitude shapes how others treat you. A cheerful, positive person is always more welcome than someone who only sees the negatives. Instead of dwelling on what's lost, appreciate what still remains. You'll find that old age becomes much lighter and happier. 4. Ignoring health until it's too late. When we're young, a minor ache or a small symptom might not seem like a big deal. But as we age, neglecting our health can lead to serious consequences. Yet many elderly people develop the habit of enduring discomfort, thinking, "It's just a little pain, it'll go away on its own. Why go to the doctor? It's expensive and they'll just prescribe the same medicine." Illness is a natural part of aging. Worrying won't change anything. But the truth is, many health problems can be easily managed or treated if detected early. On the other hand, waiting until a condition worsens can make treatment more expensive, more painful, and sometimes even impossible to reverse. How to change? Make your health a priority. Get regular checkups. At least once every 6 months, have a full medical checkup to catch potential issues early. Listen to your body. Don't ignore persistent pain, dizziness, prolonged insomnia, or unexplained weight loss. Maintain healthy habits, eating well, engaging in light exercise, staying hydrated, and getting enough sleep can make a huge difference. Don't fear the doctor. Early detection can help you enjoy more healthy years rather than just extending life while suffering from illness. Old age doesn't have to mean accepting pain and disease. A healthy body allows you to enjoy life longer, stay happy, and avoid becoming a burden to loved ones. Don't wait until it's too late. Take action today. 5. Expecting too much from family. Family is one of the most important pillars of life. As we grow older, we naturally hope that our children and grandchildren will care for us, visit often, and show their love. However, when expectations become too high, we may easily fall into disappointment, sadness, or even resentment toward our family. Have you ever thought, "I sacrificed my whole life for my children and now they barely think of me. Why are they always so busy? Can't they make some time for their parents?" Back in my day, I treated my parents differently. The reality is that modern life comes with its own pressures, work, family, social responsibilities. This doesn't mean your children don't love you. It simply means they can't always be there as much as you'd like. If you constantly criticize or complain, they may begin to avoid you, making you feel even lonelier. How to change? Instead of relying too much on your children and grandchildren, create your own joy and independence. Build your own life. Join clubs, meet friends, learn a new skill, or find a personal hobby. Stay connected in a lighthearted way. Avoid guilt-tripping or pressuring them. A simple, cheerful message or a short but pleasant phone call can strengthen your bond. Accept reality. Your children still love you, but they also have their own lives. Let family relationships be based on love and mutual understanding, not obligation or forced duty. When you find joy in your own life, your children will feel more at ease around you. Love isn't measured by how often they visit, but by the depth of understanding and connection you share. Let family be a place of warmth and support, not a burden of expectations. Aging is a privilege. Not everyone gets the chance to live to this age, to reflect, to change, and to continue writing their own story. Choose how you want to live. Don't let bad habits stop you from fully enjoying your later years. Make every day meaningful, filled with joy, connection, and fulfillment. Do you see yourself in any of these habits? What will you change to live a happier life? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so we can embrace aging with joy and strength together. Remember, life is always worth enjoying, no matter how old you are.